We are Caitlin and Blair. We moved into our Mazda CX-5 for 8 months and are exploring the U.S. Our first trip took us through Northern California and Central Oregon, and now we're in the middle of trip 2. We just saw the Oregon coast and stuffed our faces in Portland.
That was a good donut. Was 6 enough?
Now we're on our last adventure in Oregon, taking the historic Columbia River Highway to check out the waterfalls along the Columbia River Gorge. So we're starting our driving tour along the Columbia River Gorge in the middle of it at Bridal Vale because I was the co-pilot and I thought Caitlin put in Troutdale in the maps, but she put in Multnomah Falls, which is at the end of it. So we ended up going past a lot of the waterfalls, so we're gonna have to go past and then turn around and go back. We've implemented a new rule that co-pilot always is the one that puts the stuff in the maps, so everybody's on the same page. In 1915, the historic Columbia River Highway was opened, which shifted trading from the river to the road. Then in the 60s, Highway 84 opened up, becoming the dominant route for trading.
We're hiking to Bridal Falls, and right now it's all downhill, which means on the way back it'll be all uphill. The two waterfalls combine to be about 120-foot drop, which flows into Bridal Creek right below it, and back in the 1880s downstream was a paper mill, and they would float like rough cut lumber down to the mill to be used. As time went on, the town and the creek kind of became forgotten about, and then the land started to get acquired in the 1970s to become this beautiful park.
Then we pulled up to Multnomah Falls. So
No parking.
there's not a lot of parking. We researched it decently well, but we kind of just went off of everybody's advice. And then I guess
And then we ignored everybody's advice.
to go early. So we booked a noon reservation, noon to 1 p.m. So now we're gonna go from Wahkeena Falls and hike to Multnomah instead. Follows the road. So it was only 0.6 miles, pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it was easy, and the parking was much easier over there. That is huge.
Oh my.
That is so tall.
It's so pretty. What are we supposed to do? Go to the top?
To the top of that?
I don't know. That's insane.
Okay. That trail's too short to be good.
Parking lot. There's more parking over there.
Lots of parking.
But when you can be higher up, you can see it. Just go off exit 31. So you can park there. You walk under a tunnel to the visitor center. We are a little out of practice, but we're halfway? Are we halfway? A lot of switchbacks. There's 11 switchbacks on this trail. We're at switchback 4 of 11. but it feels like 10. I've stopped marking the markers. I think we're at 10. I think it's coming right around the corner. Markers are back. We're at 9. Thought we were at 10. We're at 9. Yeah, the drone just flew at me, and so I went like this with my hand.
You like swatted it down.
Yeah, and like then it just went and like cut part of my little.
But like right above the falls. So like had you not, I don't know what would have happened.
I had a weird feeling about it. I was like, I'm not in a drone mood today. No, I'm not like really in a drone mood though. I was like, well, I'll try it because like I checked the airspace and it was fine. Go with your gut. That's the moral of the story.
It would have been a really cool drone shot. However, not worth it.
I think it would have just fallen off the falls. So
I think this is good.
We're seating. You can see a little bit of the falls.
But can we get vinegar as well?
Vinegar, you got it.
This looks so good.
The Bridge of the Gods opened in 1926. And fun fact, the Pacific Crest Trail crosses the Columbia River on this bridge. And this is where the last scene in Wild takes place. Crossed over from Oregon into Washington. Mt St Helens is up there, but just covered by the clouds. We're not sure. We also
feels right for Washington.
Yeah, we also haven't seen very many cars. We're here and we can't see anything.
Nothing.
Well, there's where we should go. Okay. We're going into the unknown.
Into the unknown. I knew you were gonna do that.
Mount St Helens.
Looks like we're at the end of the world.
We can't see anything. Oh, too bad. It's like right over there. It really does feel like the end of the world because this seems like an old abandoned like place that people used to hang out, but like no one's here. The crater.
Like what you can see.
We're in a simulation and this is the end of the world.
Go somewhere where we can sleep.
Okay, we're gonna try again tomorrow.
First day in Washington and it lives up to the hype. Rainy,
it's cloudy and rainy.
Cold, foggy.
They're not too bad, but
yeah, you're like not too bad. You're like zipped up in a down jacket.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel fine.
We should watch a horror movie. We stayed the night at North Forks Survivors Camp. This used to be owned by our friend Shauna's grandpa. He used to let people stay here for free. There's a good amount of spots and spaces to stay, and we had the whole place to ourselves. They also have a gift shop and some pretty cool stuff to look at. This is our friend Shauna's grandpa's A-frame, and he built it between 1979 and 1980. And then when Mt St Helens erupted in May 18th, 1980, it buried this under 6 feet of mud flow. So this is kind of like one of the last places that you'll see that was affected by Mt St Helens, and it's been like a tourist kind of thing for 40 years where they come and see it. We are back at the Johnston Ridge Observatory, which is where I think everyone should start because that is what I researched. Mt St Helens. It's an active volcano. I came under the impression that it was dormant. is not the case, so it's gonna erupt at any moment. So we've all learned about Mt St Helens in history class, but it was really fun to like relearn about it because you kind of forget about that stuff. So what I relearned was in March of 1980, there was magma coming from deep below Mt St Helens and coming up and met icy meltwater. So that's kind of what started everything. It started heating it up. If you think about it like a pressure cooker, it's going to be starting to expand and there's going to be a lot of gas and it needs to explode or release at some point. In the days leading up to the eruption, it was kind of expanding like 5 feet at a time, and little eruptions were happening a couple months even before. So at 8:32 a.m. May 18th, 1980, a 5.1 magnitude earthquake occurred, causing Mt St Helens to erupt. I thought it was lava that came out of the mountain. Not in this case. Instead, it was ash, gas, and debris that went out laterally at 400 miles per hour. In this process, it removed 1 mile wide of the mountain. Then the magma sends hot rock and debris going up for like 15 miles. This plume was like huge. We're gonna compare it to something because I can't think of anything that tall right now, but just imagine right here, 15 miles high of plume, sending ash all over. It makes it extremely hard to breathe at this point. And then it sends 46 billion gallons of water, like all different sides of the mountain, which pushes everything and destroys like people's homes. It ended up claiming the lives of 57 people that day. In 2 weeks after the eruption, the ash had circled the entire globe. That's crazy. I know. We're off to Mt Rainier. We just saw Mt St Helens. I was like, do we really need to go to Mt St Helens? But
Did you really think that?
yeah, I kind of thought that. But I was glad that we went because, I don't know, we just learned a lot and it was cool.
Yeah. And it was something that happened like in our, well, not yours.
Not yours either. You were in 85.
But like basically our lifetime.
Yeah.
Like it was recent. It wasn't like, oh, this erupted 2,000 years ago.
Like Crater Lake.
Yeah. It's like, no, this was just
recently.
Like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is our new dispersed camping spot. Right outside of Mt Rainier. God, we did this in our 30s. So we're out here and something is throwing these eaten little corn on the cob looking things right by our car. We were woken up by it. I'm standing under our car thing to take shelter so I don't get pegged on the head with one of these things. No, it sounds like it's going on all over. Well, something's definitely in there climbing around because that branch just fell. I'm trying to see what's going on up there while we're under attack. Going in. Oh, God. Blair has to move the car because it's literally just where we're parked. We're scared they'll throw something and hit our windshield. Oh my God, I don't even think she can see. She's like coming right at me. Could you see? No. I was like right there. I was like, oh my God, I don't think she can see. She's coming right at me. Blair has to go retrieve our bear garbage. I'm armored up. So we put her in armor for the war zone. Get out, get out. I think they are throwing them because it really increased when you went over there. Yeah, maybe didn't like I had the garbage there. So a guy just came by asking us about if we are picking mushrooms right now. And yesterday somebody else came by and I was flying my drone and Caitlin couldn't hear what they were saying. She thought they said, are you looking for lobsters?
And I was very confused.
And Caitlin was just like, yeah, we are. And then like said something else and like just totally had a conversation that Didn't understand what was going on, but now we know there were lobster mushrooms they were talking about. Apparently out here, they're a thing.
We gotta go find some.
Are they like magic ones?
No,
or?
just like ones you can eat.
That's so cool.
Hey, mushrooms.
But it's like a certain time of year, I guess. That's cool. I found a culprit. Okay, we're done with our first night, dispersed camping at Mt Rainier. It's very dark at night.
Beautiful stars.
Yeah, you can see all these stars.
And then we woke up to an attack.
An attack on us. So I thought it was rocks at first, and I was like, "Is the mountain?"
Get out of here.
I thought like the volcano was exploding, and I'm like, "Great, this is gonna be awful."
Blair now has a volcano fear on top of her alligator fear.
Yes, yeah, the alligator still wins, but then the volcano's next. We're gonna go see Mt Rainier.
We're off to explore.
Normally, we can see.
Well, I don't think it's normally. I think it's like special.
Oh, at special times, you can see the reflection.
Of
Not Rainier. On the reflection lake. I see a little thing. Is that it? This just in. There is a barely detectable layer of ash from Mt St Helens from 1980 here at Mt Rainier. Oh, the sun looks so good on you. Thousand-year-old Douglas firs. Then we headed to find our next camping spot.
Blair is bringing over our cooking table.
Just one with the pilgrims. Maybe right here?
Sure.
Maybe some for just sitting. I'm sure it gets much better than this spot.
It's pretty beautiful.
Next up, we hike Crystal Mountain to save some money.
You can take the gondola in the summer up to the top, but you can hike up to the top and then do a one-way ticket down.
So instead of $84, it's going to be $24 because we're only doing a one-way ticket down. You know anything about like these maps, like where things are? This is the trail. This is it right here.
Oh, I don't like when I get up where I think you are and then you've left where you are.
More money, and I gave her $10 allowance
For the gift shop.
for the gift shop. You can't have any
Child.
more. Yeah, you don't need more. And if you want it, you can tell me and explain it why you want it. I like this cash thing.
So it's a gorgeous waterfall right on the Columbia Scenic Trail. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Everybody's learned about Mt St Helens in history school, but
There's no history school.
there's a history school.
Yeah.
I went to a history school.
So Blair, what just happened?
Thought we were doing a 1 mile.
Easy
1 mile
easy
hike.
hike.
So we started walking up, and then we're like, wow, this is like really hard. I mean, I guess maybe just Washington people rate things differently.
We're like, okay, we obviously cannot do anything that's above easy at Mt Rainier.
But then we realized we actually got to a better viewpoint though. I am glad we did it. But we went up
the Skyline Loop.
Part of the Skyline Loop because we didn't do the whole.
Because we got confused and we're like, this is supposed to be 1 mile. We're at 3.5.
Yeah.
And it was strenuous.
Yeah.
So I feel much better about myself.
Same.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. So this next step was the magma inside of the volcano. Ooh, I've never called it a volcano. I've only called it like a mountain. What?
There's like a gold thing.
What about it? You shot it on it.
Yeah, but I twirled it as I said it.
Oh. You're like sitting there eating your hot dog telling me how to do things. So think about that.
Taking her vitamins.
One at a time. I can't do them all at once.
And she has to have a sip in her mouth first, which is totally backwards. I don't think anybody else does it that way.
Oh yeah, and then people forage for mushrooms around here. Yes. Maybe that guy just did. It looks like he's putting stuff away.
Yeah, he does.
Beanie alert.
Oh, my hair is knotted. Yikes. When's our next shower?
I don't know.